Hello, everyone, and welcome to Life Talks. My name is Lady P, and I'm here with my co host, Zach. In this channel, we talk about family, relationships, and lifestyle, and anything in between. So kindly like, share, subscribe, and comment. Hey, Mr. Zach, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing all right. It's good to have you today.
Good to have you too. It's a wonderful day after church.
Yeah.
So today we're going to tackle a very important topic, which of course most people go through in life. Besides the career and the education, marriage is one of the most important things people should consider, or it's a long-term commitment that people commit to. So today we want to explore some of the things we think that the most important one should consider before getting married or committing to marriage. So without further ado, I will let Lady P kind of get us started on this and some of the points she thinks.
Wow.
What a lady or a gentleman should consider before getting married. This might differ because men have different interests, and ladies also have their different preferences. So Lady P, what do you think ladies should consider?
Well, I have my little notes here, so I'm going to be cheating a little bit. But yeah, like you said, it's very important to have these discussions and also know what you really, really want in marriage. So for me, what I think is the first one is having your partner having good communication skills. That's my first one. So just to elaborate a little bit is, so when you are dating with whoever you're dating, it's good to be able to, see or understand if he can hear you, like he can truly, truly hear you. Also, how does he express his feelings to you? Is he able to be open and express his feelings to you? I think that's very, very important. And as you go down this marriage road, you will see how that will unfold.
That's a very important line there. Communication is a big thing, especially here. It's mostly aligned to ladies who say like communication is key for a healthy relationship, which of course I agree 100%. But most people, what they sometimes forget is that communication is a two-way. Yeah, so it's gonna take like how you say to that person and how they respond to what you're saying. So like you said, it's gonna be like how they are able to handle what you're saying to them, and
How they will express
they
their feelings
express
as
themselves
well.
to you. That's a very important one for people who really want to go into a long-term commitment. Yeah. So I agree with that. I believe mostly people should be able to communicate and understand each other.
Yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of people, especially men,
No,
they do not know how to communicate.
No, our communication is not. It's sometimes our communication is silence, which sometimes is mistaken. Communication can be silence. So if somebody tells you something, I mean, women want us to react and talk about, react to what just said immediately. But understanding like silence is part of communication. So you may give that person time to kind of get himself together, and then he can be able to respond.
Please communicate that. There's no need of silence.
Silence is part of communication.
Silence is not part of communication. You'd be like, you think maybe you need to think about it, or you need, some time or whatever. You just communicate that and be like, honey, I hear you, but can you give me some time? I'll come back with an answer or something like that. So the thing is that happens with a lot of men is they keep quiet about it, like silence. And then I have to come and ask you again. How is that communication?
Silence is part of communication in the sense that sort like we're not process. I need to maybe go slower. So sometimes I need to get myself together and know, like, how should I respond to this? I don't mean like you ask me something and then I take a week to respond. But if I keep quiet and then I respond later, and then this person kind of takes time to think about what we're talking about.
Are you not able to communicate? That
no,
I will take, like, give me some time, then I will. Don't leave somebody hanging. Silent is
a lot of times one of those things we keep quiet is because the response is needed there, and we don't have an answer to that.
And you say, give me some time. I need to think about it. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying answer the question or whatever, give a response. What I'm saying is communicate what you're thinking. Like, okay, I need to think about this, or I need some time, or whatever. Why can't you
Anyway,
communicate that?
Anyway, let me say this: if you're somebody who wants to get into a relationship, just be open and communicate and say, "Give me some time. I will talk about this."
I
If you are
agree.
somebody who is already in a relationship, okay, let's
No,
look at that.
all I can say is let's just, or even if you're in a relationship, umeolewa, just try to, relearn how to communicate. Okay, I think it's a good thing. Okay, let's take us to number 2.
All right. So for me, being a man,
Hey,
number one
you
thing.
guys ready?
Let me not say like that's the top priority sometimes, but what men look at, looks. You gotta have, if you can try your best and get the best looking girl, because you don't want to be having a wandering eye. You don't want to go somewhere and leave your wife behind. You don't want to go somewhere and then your friends get your best. I mean, if that's the best you can, but I mean, we can say this, what I can say. Beauty is not just sometimes
it's not physical.
The physical look sometimes we take men is 70%, but we have to understand, like, once you start interacting with somebody, there are different kinds of beauties you can get from somebody. Some people are beautiful in their eyes, and that can be very attractive. Some people are just their body. Some people it's just the way they talk, or maybe the way they handle themselves, or they put themselves together. So for men, people will not agree with this. Like, looks don't really matter, but if you have a brain, we don't have X-rays to.
So the first thing you say,
the first thing a man looks at is this girl is beautiful. Once you see that girl is beautiful, and then you get your shot. So if you are a young person who wants to get into a relationship, well, just get the best you can, and then say, this is what I like, this is what I'm gonna stick with. So you don't get in between and start changing because you think like you didn't get the best shot. Right.
Wow. Good to know. It's good to know. But I do agree to some point. I do agree that have somebody that you will love. So a lot of men, like all men actually, I think, they first, what they see is what they love. So I feel like if you don't have somebody you're attracted to, then I don't think that relationship is going to work.
That's true. So, in fact, attraction, once you're really attracted to your person, and then the other components fill in, you will have a very healthy relationship. I mean, a good relationship, because you are satisfied from your top list what you wanted.
You know what though? I have heard this thing people say, as a woman, marry a man that is not up to your to your bar, so that anatosheka kuna bibi mzuri. Have you heard that?
Oh, it's basically you're like just somebody saying like get yourself married down.
Yeah.
I mean, as a woman, if you're going to, it has some weight on it, because as a woman, if you're going to get this physical trainer, gym instructor, I mean, some are good people, but there's some, truth to that. Like, if you're getting that really like a bad there, I mean, in the terms of physical look, I mean,
it's just physical.
So truly speaking, sometimes you stand chances of getting a lot of competition. You also have to keep up to the bar, up there. So it's just keeping up with how your man is moving.
Life is hard. Life's hard.
All right.
But I'm telling you, it's good as ladies. It's good to it's good to keep yourself looking good and young. Always.
Yeah, always good to keep yourself looking.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Let me see what I have next. Man, this one, emotional availability, is just to understand if your partner are emotionally mature. Is your partner able to support you emotionally?
And can you elaborate on that a little bit? Like, give examples, maybe? Yeah, I mean, I just want to understand fully, like, what is that?
Emotional is when you are emotionally sensitive. If something is going on, I would call like how can I say it? Like you're being logical in a situation where I need you to be emotionally sensitive. That's what I mean.
Okay, so what you're trying to say is like if your lady is going through some emotions, you 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 can come in also like bringing your empathy or
Mm-hmm.
your feelings to
Mm-hmm.
acknowledge the feelings,
Yeah,
how she's
how
feeling and
she's feeling
stuff like
before
that.
you bring
Mhm.
your solutions, as a
Yeah.
lot of men do, like to bring a solution. It's also emotional is how you relate with her, like are you attentive to her and stuff like that, like hauko kimwili but ni wandini hauko.
Physically, you're not there.
Physically you are there, but emotionally and everything else you're not
You know
there.
what has messed up a lot of people. Probably, maybe people are going to get into a relationship lately. It's the phones. The phones are really not pulling us away from those emotional attachment to people, because what is there? A lot of times we're sitting in the house, maybe you're going through something, and you find out I'm just on my phone.
So sad.
You don't give attention to that. I mean, for women, I understand they ride on emotions, and we gotta try to. If you want to live well or commit to somebody for a long time, maybe it's a good thing to be emotionally available.
Yeah, the signs you will see when you're dating, don't take it for granted. If somebody's not emotionally there for you, then they're not going to be there in the long run.
Mhm.
Don't ignore them.
Okay,
Okay,
so
take us to
I
the
mean,
next one.
the next one I wanted to think is, I mean, I think which is the most important is, if you want to get somebody who is progressive, when you are dating and you are talking about stuff, you will actually notice like maybe a woman has the short-term goal and the long-term goal. So like your goals kind of align in a sense. So you don't want to have somebody who is like come into marriage, and then once you get married, and then it's like I have kids, life is done. You know, it's like have kids, life is done. That's it.
That's our
There's nothing.
limit. We don't want.
There's nothing that's gonna happen. That's what it is. Like it's somebody who's gonna challenge you, push you, to do something further or to do this. So that's what is like progressive. It's not necessary. It's not about like this person has to have so much ideas, but the thing is somebody who's ready to outsource ideas and be open-minded on about where do we need to be or what we need to do. Yeah. So it actually projects the growth of a family to a higher level when you have somebody who's progressive. Yeah. Even if it's like, like it's one person, but the other one has to play a role also. They have to be willing to accept those progressive ideas.
And for me,
Okay.
I think hiyo ni kazi ya wanaume tupeleke mbele, but I'm playing. Calm down.
Yeah.
But I do agree it's good to have like mkona goals ziko the same, even as you said, having shared goals, like hata ukiongejea watoto, because sometimes you guys, we don't discuss about how many kids we want as a family before we even get in that family, because that's sometimes inaletanga shida. So if we understand how many kids we want as a family and blah blah blah, and then when we are discussing that, we can discuss that in the whatever perspective of, can I be able still to work? Can I still be able to do all these things that I want to do? And that's what happens, because unapata mtu kuna watoto and it's so hard for you to even work or even to think about doing business. It's not, I don't think there's anybody who wants to just have kids and be like, hey, you know what? This is it. No, it's not. It's the time that you put in to raise a family that somebody's like, there's nothing else I can do.
It's not easy, and I'm not saying like there is. I mean, let me be clear. Like there are some people who, once they settle into a marriage, they have the first kid or second kid, or they have 3 kids. The woman, especially a woman, will be consumed about like grocery, cook, eat, clean. Grocery, cook, eat, clean.
That's our role.
That's a basic role. But now we're talking about progressive. Like, how do you move on
As a
from the
family.
basics?
That's true.
There are some things like the basic. They have to be done for anybody. It don't matter who it is or whatever it is. They have to do those. But how are you gonna grow from where you are?
Bring your
Because
ideas and then I will support you.
you also have to bring ideas.
My work is
that's
to,
what is it like progressive.
biblically, my work is to help, and I'm just here to support. I'm just here to support somebody.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. We want you to be open to ideas. If you cannot see like ideas are coming from your man,
Mhm.
you make sure like you you show that progressive mind. So if you're a lady, like the lady you are dating is not showing any sign of that before you, man, just walk away. I mean, if you're, I think this is the thing. If you have like 10 points you're looking for somebody and they fail, they go like above five of them, that's 50% or 60%. I think that's not the right partner.
Okay. Okay.
Otherwise, you'll face a lot of challenges and stuff like that.
That is true. But I do hope that, well, a lot of men don't listen to ladies' ideas. Hopefully, whoever is out there, your man listens to your ideas.
No, if you show
good.
that from the initial start, if you show that progressive mind and you show those ideas from the start, in fact, men will listen to you more, and you'll find yourself, both of you, working together so good.
Towards your goals.
Yeah, but if you leave one party to kind of ride the ship and do the stuff, it will get to a point where he knows like it's my own, my fine. I do this. This is what I do, or this is what I do. Stuff like that. So that's some of the things. And when a man brings up something, if a man brings up something, or maybe he's gonna bring up something when you're married, don't just dismiss it right away. Kind of weigh in like what's the pro and cons of doing this and stuff like that.
When we ask you the questions, do you want to answer the questions or?
Most probably.
Okay.
So since we're kind of like we're kind of looking at somebody who is new, like maybe you're dating for a year or something, and you find out when you introduce simple stuff, or maybe you are not getting the energy of a progressive person from that. So that's one X. You can put a red flag there.
That's true. That is
something like that.
Yeah, you need somebody that supports you.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
What's our next from the ladies' point? Let's see our next.
I don't know if I want to. Let me cheat. Let me look at my cheat sheet.
No, it's okay to look at your points.
Let me look at my points. I'm choosing wisely. Okay, let me just choose this one. Conflict resolution. Like when you're dating, just pay attention to if mkikosana, how are you guys able to resolve anything that has come up? Because I feel like sometimes if you're in your quad, like, okay, you had something came up and everybody goes for a week and then you find a way back together and then something happens and like there's no communication of those things and there's an aqua piled up. When you're dating, you may not see that. But when you are in a relationship or in marriage, those things will be like, you remember the date, so and certain dates, especially women, we do remember those things. So just make sure like you are able to sit down and talk to your partner and be able to resolve those issues.
I mean that's true. And what is funny is when people are dating, sometimes you may not have a chance to see a conflict. You may not come across a conflict. I mean, if you are too fast, you're dating for 3 months and you are moving on to living together and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So most of the conflict will start coming in when you're married. But there are some things you can look at and know how people deal with conflict. For instance, just listen to stories like for your partner, how they handle conflict in their family, and listen to your partner like when the last time maybe they had a conflict with their sister. Listen how she tells you how she handled it.
So are you gonna ask the story?
No, usually they will come up. Somebody will come up to you and say, "Hey, you can't imagine what happened. I'm so mad at my sister. He did this. I feel like shocking her. Stuff like that." Those ones. Those are the things which will tell you like this person how do they handle the conflict. If somebody comes to you and says, "You know what? Okay, you are dating this person. They're living with their parents, and I hate my mom."
That tells you a lot, especially from a man. Yeah, come on. Your guy is telling you anachukia mamake. Please, my sister, run. So
I mean that's what it is. Like there are some few things you can pick and see because you may not have a conflict while you are dating.
Most probably.
Dating life has a lot of energy, and you guys are together like this, and it's one of those things like you may not have a conflict at all. It's always like energy coming together. Hey, where are you? Where are we going? You know, what are we doing? You are going to do fun stuff and stuff like that. But when it comes to like staying together for some time, and that's when you may see an actual conflict.
That's when you see an actual
Or
conflict.
you may be lucky though. You may be lucky. Maybe you go travel to somewhere with your partner, and then you encounter some kind of conflict between friends, and you see how she reacts or how he reacts. Is he gonna get into a fight? Is he going to talk in a calm way and stuff like that? Those are the red flags you can see. So I mean, that one it actually points out to what I wanted to say. Also, what I wanted to point out on it lies on almost on the conflict resolution. You gotta know your partner, how they handle, like they respond to when they're angry. Yeah. So one of the things that you may see, I may not know you when we are dating, but if you are somebody who broke a TV in your house when you were mad at somebody, run.
You don't know what happened.
No, it doesn't matter what happened.
There's a backstory.
If somebody is physically that way, even if it's for like a lady, if your man gets that physical, maybe it's even like maybe sports. He likes a sports team, and and then you see this person like cannot contain his emotions. Those are part of the self conflicts you have, like internal conflict you have, and then you just go ahead and explode like that. So you just run.
Yeah, that one for sure.
That's something very important, because a lot of times when people cannot control themselves, when they lose it, they might hurt you or they might do something. You know, sometimes it's not even hurting you. If you choose a life partner and then down the road he does something and then you find out maybe police are involved, this person goes in or maybe gets a tag on his, like, he has a bad background. You see, you are struggling with somebody trying to get a job, you can't get a job. So that pulls you behind as a family.
Yeah, I hear you. But situations, I feel like they present differently. You may be the most calmest person, and a certain situation comes that you can't handle. Like, I feel like the situation you can handle and the situations you can. Everybody akona you kako ka limit.
I mean, I understand. It's okay. Even, hata the law, hapa hivi venye nasema, if I'm shouting, I'm shouting, like I'm just yelling and not like coming to you, and it's not as bad when somebody comes to you and try to, like, is trying to
be
do
in
something.
my space.
And ukiangalia, like, you want to have somebody who has self-control in that sense.
For sure.
Yeah. So
I agree.
when you guys go out for like a date and you are dating and you are going out maybe to a club and you went to drink or do something, what you can do is when this partner maybe got tipsy, see how they handle conflict where you are, stuff like that, how they respond. So because at the end of the day, you the person who's gonna get that person in your house.
I do agree with that. Those are the extreme part of it. I want to hear about kwa nyumba mmekosana kitu kidogo and maybe it's a silent treatment or is ignoring the situation and stuff like that. Like how would you pick up those, like on the dating, how do you pick that mtu ako hivi?
During dating, I've always got an instances whereby maybe you were texting and something happened, a miscommunication happens, and then you kind of keep quiet for each other for a few days. So the way you get back together at times tells you how mature somebody can handle conflict. So I think that's one of the things you can look at once you had a break or maybe you had a little conflict. How did you guys get back together? But also bear in mind, like, there's some people who know, like, they're always right.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's true.
So it's always,
you're always in the wrong.
I mean, even in marriage, sometimes we say, some people say the wife is always right.
Yeah. If you follow that concept, you will live a happy life. It will be a happy life. Okay.
All right. Do you have anything for?
I mean, I'm surprised that in that list there are things that are missing, but we'll come back to it next time.
Okay. Let me just add one more thing. I think it's very important for anybody dating. Your person has to have some financial interest. I don't mean college education. I don't mean, but you want somebody who can do basic budgeting, who can be able to reflect on, finances, what you are getting, how much you need to spend, For instance, if I'm making 2K a month and maybe I don't want you to go spend $500 on boots.
You get how much?
$2,000 a month. Let me say I'm making 2,000.
You don't want
So I don't want my partner when we go out there, like I want to give her a treat and say like, "Here, this is my card. Can you buy something? Just buy something for yourself." And then they spend like 2,500 maybe on some boots or some stuff. So if I'm making like 2K also, that's where like the financial literacy comes in. Like you have some knowledge of how you spend, what is income, and how much you spend, how much you're making, how much you can be able to dispose out there. So because if you get married and one of the of you don't have an idea, or both of you have no idea how to manage your finances, actually you just live on the edge. They say one paycheck away from being a homeless.
We live paycheck to paycheck in this America.
Yeah, I mean,
it is what it is.
Honestly, it is what it is, but it's very important on that sense that you understand what you make, especially when it comes to like kids are going to come in. You understand what you're making and what you're spending, what you can be able to afford, and how you can be able to manage in between. Stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, I do agree with that, but I think it also goes hand in hand with financial compatibility. Like, according to you, maybe $500 boot is not something you consider worth spending on. And for me, it's something that is worth spending on. So choose somebody that muna agree on what you spend money on. What I'm spending money is not good enough for you. You know, because kila mtu ako na test yake and what they want to spend their money on. So I think that's something else that somebody can consider. Instead of just looking at literacy. So mtu anaweza kuwa na hiyo, but bado ako na ile like, this is what I want to spend. This is what I want to spend. Like maybe men, let's say some men, they want to spend their money on shoes, right? And I want to spend my money on purses, let's say, for example. So is it like, because you don't like to spend your money on anything good, for me to spend my money on buying purses or clothes, it should not be something bad for you. You're looking down upon me. I'm spending my money to buy things that I like, that are good. So that's the thing I'm saying. Look for somebody that moko compatible financially with.
Yes, that's. I mean, it's okay to say compatible, but my kind of concept was like understanding what you bring in and how much you're getting out, and what's the timing of your getting out. You don't want to be on a crisis and you have like this expensive stuff you're collecting. So especially when you're going to get into a relationship and you are aware of that field of like, what, this is where we stand. We just started working and this is what we're going to be doing. It will work so perfect in the sense that we're going to be taking a vacation. We know this is our budget and stuff like that.
And I agree. I added on to it, as much as mtu muko financially muko literate, it's good also to be compatible, because what you spend your money on may not be what I consider smart spending.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm adding.
Okay. Before we close this, let me. I want you to talk about one more thing before we close up this one. So I want you to talk about like, what about like intimacy?
Why me?
I mean, man, no, this is the reason. I was just no. Let me just use that example. Let me just say this: men, we don't have a problem with intimacy. We're just like that. Men, we're just there. Hey.
Men are just there, so you don't.
No, I mean the thing is there. It's not like we're just there, but I think I feel like a lot of men left behind intimacy wise. They're lonelier than wives.
I disagree. Wait, let me tell you this. You should have brought this as a different topic. But all I'm saying is, as much as a lot of men do say that they are not satisfied in their marriages, how can I say this? A lot of men forget to love their wives. Not in a way like bibi yako in kwa roho yako ama whatever. When you guys are dating, you're probably doing all these extras. And that's what women like. You're getting unamletea maybe flowers, if that's what she likes. Unamletea flowers, chocolates, like some stuff like that, gifts. Mnafika kwa marriage year 2 is like unakuja na maziwa unakuja na maziwa kutoka kwa mlango, which is not bad. But I just, for women, all I can say is intimacy and sex, it starts when you wake up. For us, is the mind versus you guys. It's, if you start by loving us through the day, it will be easier for you all. That's all I can say. I don't know how to go in.
We'll get deeper into that, but what I can say is like it's when you especially with this busy life, we're working maybe Monday through Friday, on the weekend we're off. You as a woman or as a partner who is getting into a new relationship, or maybe when you are dating, of course the intimacy part may not be so much. You may not see so much when you are dating, but once you get into a relationship, the first few days or maybe a couple of years down the road, it might change. But a lot of women, they want to be able to prepare themselves to be available for that kind of intimacy. I mean, what I mean is, like, when you wake up in the morning, also prepare your mind. And maybe today we're going to do ABCD. Prepare your mind, show some energy, and show some smiles, and get some energy going.
The energy is going. Where is the energy going? If I'm just going with my pajamas, go wash my dishes, sit down, start cleaning the house, there's no plan for the day. What's the energy for? To do dishes?
It don't matter if you're doing dishes. Show some energy in the kitchen.
Even in the kitchen.
Yes. And in fact, let me add this so we can close this for today and just move on to something else. So I once had a friend who said this. The wife, this guy was married, could only see a wife looking good when she's going somewhere out there.
All the time. That's everybody.
Never.
In that every wife.
I want you. The way when you are dating, that's why, like, when you're dating somebody, if you're trying to get into a relationship, let her come on to you on top, looking good. If she has a little makeup on, maybe put together well. If you get somebody comes rolling to your place, or maybe to where you say let's meet, and then they roll there with pajamas.
I mean, if that's what you like, those
who like, let them keep liking that. If it's me, I'm dating right now. I want you well put together from day one. I want to see you. I don't want, like, when you are going out there, like you're going, like, maybe to your friend's place, or when you are going to church. That's when you want to put your cute dress, and then immediately you get home, I'm going to see you in this dera. Anyway, it's wonderful.
That is crazy.
It's wonderful to have this kind of conversation. We hope our next episode will be, great and gain. That's what we have for today.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining us. Until next time, bye-bye.
Thank you, bye.